Stop firefighting, the 3-step system to turn chaos into control. Hey, legends, this is James from Tradie VA, and every week on the Time Rich Tradie, we find out what it takes to build a trade empire, get you off the tools, not spend those 80 hours a week doing it. If you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button, get some more juice. All right, so let's talk about that constant cycle that kills your day-to-day efficiency, the ad hoc trap. For you, it's the non-stop flow of unpredictable tasks. It's the urgent but not important interruptions. You get them all the time, right? It's that feeling of playing whack-a-mole all day. You're constantly reacting to every phone call, supplier issue, email, and this makes you busy, not productive. The real problem, though, this virus has infected your whole team. How often do you hear this? Hey, boss, I finished X. What do you want me to do next? How do you feel when you get that? The stress levels, your heart rate goes up, anxiety's up there because now, are they twiddling their thumbs? It's all up to you. That right there, that's the sound of your day completely derailing. Because now, on top of your ad hoc fires, you're also responsible for micromanaging your team's day. They're running ad hoc. They finish a task, they stop, and they wait for next instructions. I don't care if this is your apprentice, contractor, service manager, or an admin. It's all the same. This is what's costing you. You're the bottleneck because every what next question is a distraction that pulls you out of high value work. 2, it's causing the micromanagement stress that I mentioned. You're forced to keep a mental to-do list for everyone else and not just yourself. And it completely kills ownership. Your team's not empowered. They're just waiting for orders. They may as well be a freaking robot, right? The goal isn't just to stop your day from being dictated by the unexpected. The goal is actually to give your entire team a framework that stops them from having to ask, what do I do next? So you need to stop reacting and you need to help them start proactively responding versus reacting. So what's the solution? I call it the proactive response system, right? The secret to escaping this trap is to create a predictable system for the unpredictable. And it starts by giving your team a new way to operate. So you're not their first point of call. So it's a 3-step system. First, you need to build a 3-layer framework for them and for yourself. But let's just talk about the framework in relation to them first. Your first move is to stop being the director of work. You need to do this by giving your team a 3-layer framework for their day. And this is what it looks like before they ever look at you. Layer 1, this is what we call the daily definites. These are the checks, right? What are the checks? These non-negotiable checks that they must run every single day, no matter what. For an admin, it might be clear and triage the main inbox, check voicemails, review the job schedule for conflicts, etc., right? Again, these are not things that tasks per se, but checks. Layer 2, the delivery tasks. Now, this is the response to those checks. When their daily definites reveal work, what are they pre-approved to just do? Now, we've talked about green light tasks in another episode. So if they find a new client query in the inbox and they're green lit to create a new lead in the CRM and send the step 1 info email, that's a delivery task. So obviously getting some of these green light response tasks out. The third is the development tasks. This is the project waitlist. This is the answer to what's next. When all their checks and the delivery tasks are done, what's the long-term project, continual improvement task, etc., that they can work on? Clean up customer database, chase old quotes, film a how-to video for the new apprentice. Even for the guys on site, it could be filming something that they're doing to create a thing. Could be cross-referencing some prices or whatever it is. You can always find something that is in that 3rd layer. The goal, you want your team to say, hey boss, just letting you know I finished X, the daily checks, the delivery tasks. I'm starting on Y, customer database project. Hey boss, I'm done. What's next is gone. That stress, gone. So once you've done that, and by the way, that's literally 80%. But now you've done that, there's what's left. So remember, there's greenlit tasks, but what about the rest? Because you haven't built out everything. There's still things that people are going to be needing to come to you with, which is the what's left. So next step is to implement the batch, don't bounce rule. So once your team has their framework, you're still going to get the grenades. That's what one of my clients calls them anyway. They get thrown in your hand, you got to deal with it. Supplier calls, client escalations, your own emails, etc. Things that are not greenlit. This is how you handle them. Now, you become a victim of the ad hoc tasks because it's easy for people to interrupt you for a quick answer. Instead, create a scheduled window for the non-emergency communication. So if it is not urgent, as in if it is not solved immediately, then they do not have an answer. So for everything outside of that, the action is set 2 20-minute check-ins per day, let's say 11 a.m. and 3 o'clock. This is when your team can bring you any stuck tasks that weren't greenlit. This is when you can check your own non-urgent emails, return non-urgent calls. The benefit of this is that this stops your day from being a series of tiny constant interruptions. That's the way it turns chaos into that focused session of problem solving. It gives you back the long blocks of deep work you need for sales, strategy, and growth. But the primary reason, it gives space and time for your team to come up with the solutions themselves. When they can't come to you straight away and they have to pause, they go, oh, I guess, I could probably do this and sort it out. And they do. And worst case scenario, when they do come to you, they've already got an option because they've had that space and time to pause and think about it. The last step, like I said, it's 3 steps. The last step is systemize the root cause. One of the clients yesterday said, I'm just not there yet in my business. I'm still at that. I've got to handle the problems that are occurring day to day. So I'm not at that working on the business time. And I call bullshit. Because just because you are still handling those ad hoc things does not mean you can't take that information, take a lesson, and work on your business. And this is the most important piece of the puzzle. Every single ad hoc problem you face is just a symptom of some missing or incomplete system. It's just a symptom of something missing earlier on in the customer journey. When a problem pops up, your response shouldn't be just to solve it. I'm not saying don't solve it or work with your team or do what you need to do. Your response should be to document the solution so it never comes back. We've gone through the debrief process before. Debrief it. What was the result? What was the reasons it happened? And what's going to be your response to ensure it doesn't happen again? It's real simple. And it doesn't need to take much, but if you can just change one thing about the system earlier that makes that less likely to happen, you're a business owner and not just a reactor. And you're going to start turning that chaos into control. So when your team brings you that stuck task in the batch window, ask yourself, how can I turn this into a green light task for next time? Fire up a screen share, Komodo, whatever, record yourself doing the problem, solve it, find out why the information didn't get collected, put a checklist, whatever it is, there's got to be something that you can do to add. And again, these green light tasks, that's the key to letting go, which we've talked about before, but there needs to be a system for building on them. So the final thought, a leader's work is intentional. When you perform intentional work, that's what drives you. That's what drives your business. The ad hoc trap exists because you haven't intentionally eliminated low leverage tasks from your entire operation. Your highest value is in strategic thought and system creation, not in the reactive problem solving. But you can't just start with, just work. Everybody says, just work on the important, not urgent. That's bullshit. You need to create a framework that allows for it. When you shift from being the reactive mindset to a proactive one, not just freeing yourself, you're empowering your whole team, you're stopping a frantic technician, and you start being that true business owner. So your work and your team's work should be intentional, not an accident. So challenge yourself this week. Take that one what's next question you always get from your team, sit down, build that little 3-layer framework. And again, you can start with 3 things on the daily definites. Have a framework. You can always add to it. You'll be amazed at how quickly you're going to stop reacting and start responding. And it's going to start helping you dictate your day. So guys, if this one's hit home and you really want to get to that point where you feel like in control, don't sit on it. Your team, your business, your sanity depends on the clarity of your systems. So as always, systemize it, optimize it, delegate it. That's how you're going to scale it and have fun. Catch you next time on the Time Rich Tradie.